Hello everyone, and welcome to Dominar MTG. I'm Freddy Hawk, and this is another Pauper gameplay. This time I just choose this Izzet Terror because I don't have any Izzet Terror content on my channel yet. But before we talk about the deck, real quick, let me ask you to subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber yet. That helps me a lot, and I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. So now talking about the Izzet Terror, this list is by Roger Estrada or something like that. I guess he's a Latin or European and TCG in real life MTG player. So I think he plays this deck, mostly this deck is a terror. I don't think he plays only this deck, but he plays a lot of this deck. I think it's almost only this deck he plays. And I don't like this list at like 100%. I have some things that I don't agree with this deck. Like I don't like three copies of spell pierces. Maybe two spell pierces in one dispel. I think one dispel is mandatory since you have so few threats. You have like 9 threats. You have for Tolarian, you have for 2 Mystics and 3 Monarchs. You wanna protect those guys to win the game. So spell piece doesn't protect those guys on the mid game. Oh, it's okay, but late game is just the worst card you might have to protect your creatures. Also, lose focus. I would play like something like negate maybe, or I would play like one negate, one counter spell for creatures like the false summoning, remove soul, something like that. And the other 2 copies, I would play 2 dispels on those counter spells slots. And also, I would play one more breath weapon on the sideboard. I don't like only 2 on the 75, but maybe this was a 5-0 on the Magic Online. So, and I rather have 3 Preordains and 3 Ponders, not 4 and 2, because I like more the consistency of the Preordain. Also, I think this deck lacks like at least one Fanged Flames. And on the sideboard, I would play a Fanged Flames instead of the third copy of Cast into the Fire. And in the main deck, I would take out maybe one Torch the Tower to play one Fanged Flames, just to deal with the Snacker also, just like the Torch the Tower does, but also deals with the Guardian of the Guild Pact. And I think those are my concerns. Maybe, but just maybe, I would like to play um what's the name of the card? Maybe one last cantrip, like go to 5 cantrips to play one Behold the Multiverse, because that card is, I think it's a strong draw. And I think those are the only things. On the sideboard, I would play like one more one more breath weapon. I think I would play maybe less of one of each blast to play one more campfire. I like to have 2 campfires on the sideboard, and having the other breath weapon, of course. And this is the sideboard that I would do. If I would put the third copy of the Murmuring Mystic and just change one of those for Fanged Flames. Then it will be my suggestion. I'm gonna be linking this exact list from Roger on the description and in the comments below. So let's go to the gameplay. I'm gonna be playing only one match. I'm gonna be playing commenting. Uh, like I'm gonna be playing just talking while I'm playing. You guys know that I record for my replays, but when I do those gameplays with that I'm gonna be showcasing only one match, I just go for to play and commentating my plays. So let's go to the gameplay now, and then we're gonna be back for the conclusion. Okay, we are playing Izzet Terror in this Pauper gameplay. One more Pauper gameplay. We are playing against Tolera Academy. We're gonna keep this hand because we have 2 lands and 3 cantrips, and also 2 counter spells. I don't know what my opponent is playing, obviously, but let's see. Okay, maybe it is a just Sky Ephemerate or Boros something. I'm not gonna start with the island and cantrip because I wanna have my counter spell turn 2. This is Boros Moxite. Yeah. I wanted to counter this Moxite, but okay, there's no snacker coming down at this point, so I think it's fine. I'm gonna counter creatures that this one. Yeah, I'm gonna let this one resolve because the opponent's gonna play the Moxite again, and I'm gonna counter the Moxite, obviously. Opponent didn't. Opponent did not cast the Moxite again. Okay, that's fine. Now I need to play my Ponder because I have a land. Okay, Brainstorm. I'm not gonna shuffle. I'm gonna pass. We need the more lands we can because it's better to just have our land drops. Boros Moxite is a mid-range deck, so we need to hit our land drops because we need to have a lot of mana. Okay, opponent, just burning us. I don't think this is a good strategy, by the way. I don't think I can. I could, but I want that brainstorm. Yeah, I want this brainstorm, and I want the next brainstorm also. I'm going to brainstorm when my opponent attack me because I want to kill this creature already. I don't want to take that much of damage. Now a bolt is guaranteed. Maybe I want to shuffle this and maybe a ponder. I wanna cap my. Maybe I don't need to shuffle anything, right? Because I have a land now. I can just do this. Next time we have a land, and we also have the Lorien Review to shuffle that land. Ragged Sword Spear. I think I'm gonna counterspell this. The opponent has a land. I don't know why. Yeah, I was thinking about the opponent has having something, but I'm not going to use my ponder or my preordain here. I'm gonna brainstorm my opponent's turn and trying to find anything that's not that land on the top, like a creature, mock site. First, we're going to brainstorm. Okay, two lands. What I want here? Hmm. Maybe I don't want those two lands. Okay, opponent's gonna play another one. Pursue the pass. Okay, pursue the pass. Okay, snacker. Now we just need to find the touch the tower, of course. I'm gonna get another fjord because we need more red mana just in case. Yeah, yeah. We're going to shuffle here. Okay, okay. Azure Drake is fine, but man, I think we do this because then my opponent's going to attack me. I can take two because I can take this two, go to 13. Then my opponent's gonna pass the turn, and I'm gonna kill this Knacker because I don't want to face this Knacker next turn. This is also pretty fine because you can kill both. One's going to return a lamb to the hand, of course, not this Knacker. And now you can play safely. The Azure. Is Galvanic blasting me. Maybe we lose just because opponent has a lot of burn spells. Okay, let's focus is fine because we can counter those one of those burns. Burns my face, man. Okay, opponent. Galvanic Blast and Bolt in hand. Yeah, not gonna let that resolve. We have two more counter spells. We have a okay clock now. Spell piece is bad because my opponent can do a lot of things. We just dead. We are just dead now. That's fine. When it doesn't have any counter because any burn spell because he would play, of course. Just a few turns. Brainstorm, fine. Maybe we find another counter there. I don't know. Moxite. Moxite is bad. Let's see. Opponent. Okay, we have two spell pierces, which is pretty good. Uh, One's gonna get back the Snacker, which is not a problem because he needs to discard a card. Let's see what my opponent is going to discard. We're gonna kill the Glitch Hawk, of course, because we don't want to take this damage, of course, and also we of course don't want to lose the Monarch. He's going to return the Snacker, which is fine. Land. I think he did not find a burn spell. Okay, okay, opponent, what you have? I think he had the burn spell, man. No, he doesn't have. Moxites, fine. You think, opponent, you might just need. You can just do this on my EOT. Why opponent did that on his turn? Hmm. Yeah, this mountain we know about. We're gonna kill the snacker, and then we're gonna attack Fulito. But if an opponent has a burn spell, we are dead. Because those spell pierces will not stop the burn spell. Yeah, this is so bad. Opponent's gonna return the snacker, right? Well, even if we spell pierce this. No, my opponent has no snackers to return. Unless he discarded one now. Lane 2, Journey. Journey on the terror. This is kind of complicated, bro. I'm not gonna let. You can pay 2. Because I wanna go for the lethal damage. So my opponent can block. But now not. Just win the game. So the sideboard. Against Boros Moxite. Of course, you want the Hydroblast. Want the nose. I want the Campfire because this deck is kind of crazy. I guess this is also good. Against them, I think I don't want to breath weapons. The spell pieces are. I think spell pieces are fine, but maybe. Yeah, maybe I don't want all this cantrips. Maybe casting is just bad. Toss the tower is fine against those. Well, I guess cast is not what we want. A lot of flyers. Maybe monarch is not that good. Lose focus is fine. What I would take out here? Spell pierce or red spells. I guess spell pierce is. These spells are just all artifacts. Maybe spell pierce is bad. And I can take out like two cantrips. Maybe. Because I don't want to cut more monarchs. I don't want to cut any removals. I don't want to cut any of my counters, of course. Yeah, I guess this is fine. Okay, this is an impossible hand, so we mulligan. Opponent mulligan to 6 also. This hand is strange. I'm gonna keep this hand, returning the Murmuring Mystic. I hope to see okay, this is bad because opponent's gonna pressure a life total. Yeah, this is also very bad. Now I just regret not having my ref weapon in my deck. Opponent has 3 cards in hand, but now he's gonna start to draw with the clue tokens. Yeah, this Magic Online shuffle is just unreal, bro. Let's see what my opponent has. Another clue. Opponent has 3 lands. Fine. I'm gonna return a land. Okay, no, opponent doesn't have a land in hand. He's doing this because he doesn't have a land. He replace the land, play maybe another creature. No. Okay, fine. Then just pass. Gonna discard. Gonna discard this. I should have flipped because I don't have a way to control the monarch very well. Here you counter anything opponent plays, I guess. Opponent's not playing anything because he knows you don't have removal. Now it's too late, I guess. No, not too late because we can both we take 2. Now we're gonna counterspell any Galvanic Blast because we're gonna we're going to lose, but I'm not gonna concede until I see the burn spells. Yeah. Now the snacker comes. No snackers. We still don't have anything going on here. We need to kill this creature. We need to counter the burn spells. We have the campfire. If you draw a campfire, the campfire more lands. Maybe it's fine. We might be having a Galvanic Blast here, but would be the second Galvanic Blast. So, okay. Opponent. Going to equip. Maybe he has no burn. Yeah, I don't have time to lose here. We need to kill this creature, but if opponent has a Pyroblast in hand, okay, Journey. He needs to pay 2 with the Journey, which is fine. Just pay 2 opponent. Fine. Now we need to find a campfire because maybe we are okay if we find a campfire. Will be just a strike of luck. Now we have some hopes here. One life, bro. What kind of hope we have? We just lost the game. Okay. Now opponent's gonna get back the spear and we're just gonna counter the spear, of course. But we need to find a removal. We will not find a removal, right? Maybe. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Opa. I guess. Yeah, I'm going to pass here. I'm just going to attack, of course. The deck is now giving us the card we needed on the early game. Do we want to let our opponent resolve this? Hmm. Yes, we don't. We are at one life, bro. No opponent should not find a creature. And the opponent has no burn spells in hand. Okay. We have the Commodore in the top. So I need to counter anything my opponent plays a creature, obviously a burn spell also. And we are not having the counter spell next turn. I guess I'm going to risk it. I guess I'm going to risk it. Okay. The opponent's passing. Bro, it has nothing. We are lucky here. We are pretty lucky here. Jesus Christ. In 4 turns, my opponent's dead? Oh my god, bro. I have 2 counter spells now. Opponent's journey fine. It's fine, this journey. We have the Monarch. Hmm, what I'm doing, bro? Better? 1 mana? Fine. Now opponent reach the same thing here. The same thing. Opponent, oh, bolt. Maybe opponent has another bolt. No. It's going to bolt my upkeep. Let's see the top. Ponder, Tolarian. I guess I want the Ponder, but I'm gonna shuffle the rest of the cards. Ponder again. Brainstorm Hydro Blood, that's perfect. Now I have the a Hydro. Oh, I just forgot my Monarch. I just forgot my Monarch. I'm gonna draw that card, but that's uh that's fine also. Now I have 2 counter spells and to play this gonna next turn we win with the terror, so do we brainstorm now? I think we do because I mean we might find okay, campfire is perfect. I'm not going to shuffle now. 3 life. You have Counter Spell and Hydroblast. If opponent has a lot of the burn spells, okay, opponent just concede. Okay, guys, this was the match. Let's now go to the conclusion. All right, we are back for the conclusion. And about the matchup, it was against a Boros Moxite. I just saw, and we won 2-0, but you know, I just complained a lot on the game 2 because this Magic Online shuffle sometimes. But we got very lucky there. We find our only copy, what single copy of a single team campfire. We just hold on a lot of good draws. What the deck didn't give us on the 3 to 4 turns, 2 3 turn to 2 to 3 first turns. The game like just we are just uh, color screwed, mana screwed, just for 1 turn though. But then the deck give us everything we need in the turn 5, 6, and so, and we managed to still win the game there, and it was amazing. But yeah, this deck, I think this is a good matchup for us because we can counter the draw spells, we can remove the creatures, and our opponent's gonna have a hard time uh, finish your life points. But we need to watch out for that amount of burn that deck has. 4 bolts, 4 galvanic blasts. It's kinda tough. But like I said on the deck tech, I would change something, but with this matchup, it would be, I don't know if it would be better, the changes I would make, because Spellpierce is okay on the early game against the Moxite and the Spear and the that draw spell that is from Strixhaven that I just forgot the name, and the Pursue the Past. I the Pursue the Past, the card. The and counter spells could be only the only card that could target that also lose focus, because you would play not to lose focus but negate counter spells, or and only those 5, because the other 2 spell pieces would be the spells, and the third spell piece will be a false summoning or essence scatter. Those 2 mana counters that is only 1 blue and 1 generic to counter a creature. So you would have only 5, but those spell pieces are nice also against the burn spells. And the dispel, it's a counter spell essentially for those burn spells. Maybe it would be better. Maybe it would be better. We would have less hydroblast, but anyway. And if you are playing like a bunch against those aggro decks, you need to have I think at least 3 breath weapons on the 75. The changes I would make that I just mentioned on the deck deck, I just maintain those changes that I would made. But in the future I might just bring a Izzet just like the way I would like to play is Izzet. This list is just exactly as Roger is playing lately and doing a lot of 5-0s. So yeah, guys, this was the gameplay. This was the conclusion about the deck, and I see you in the next video. Bye.